Hello guys, welcome to today's tutorial. So today we're looking at Zustand and Next.js. Um, you can also apply the principle in this video to React. So I'll be showing you how you can use Zustand with Next.js. So Zustand is pretty much a state management tool, just like Redux. It's very similar to Redux. They are both based on Flux. You can see here, but it is much more simpler and easy to understand than Redux. A lot of people have issues with Redux, especially if you're a newbie and it's your first time writing applications and all that. You might have a difficult time understanding Redux. And Redux, another downfall uh, for Redux is that another cons for Redux is the boilerplate. You need a lot of boilerplate code before you can get started. But for Zostan, it's just straightforward. Simply import it and then you create your store, you can see. So even your actions, everything is in one state. You can see, and it's very, very easy. There's nothing like, calling actions to trigger functions. You just call the functions directly in Zostand, and it's very, very simple. A lot of people, mentions, a lot of people think Zostand is just for small application, but you can use it for complex application. You can use it for complex application, uh, and it is very, very easy to understand. So today we're going to be looking at using a to-do, implementing Zostand in a to-do application, to-do app. So let me start up the project. So this is a Next.js boilerplate. So what I've done is I've just created a to-do, this is a simple to-do application here, which you can add a to-do and say work build to-do. You can see you can add it to do, you can mark it as complete, or you can also delete it. So I've done all that in this application. So I'll be dropping a link to the GitHub application, to the completed project for this. So I might also drop a link to the boilerplate so you can follow along. So this is the code base here. So what we have here is we have this to-do page here. And then we imported the to-do form and to-do list. So in the to-do form here, we are passing in add to-do function here, and we are calling the add to-do in the undo submit. So once the user enters the name of the to-do and click on the button, or press enter, since we are calling the function in the onSubmit function here. We have the undo submit, which triggers this function here. You can see prevent default text or stream, and then we are adding the to do, passing the text into the to do here and setting the text back to an empty state. So that's just basic uh the to do form here. Then we also have the to do list here, which receives the to do, the toggle to do, to toggle to do as completed, to also delete the to do. So basically you can see here we are iterating over the to do here. I'm passing, you know, the function also and the to do to the to do item here. This is the to do item here. So basically what it does is just display the item. You can see and checked if to do is completed. On change, it toggles the complete mode by the ID. You can see the toggle function in the, let me split this up and let's open the page here. You can see here, this is the toggle function. It receives the ID and then sets the to do by the ID here, sets the completed by negating the value. And you can see delete here filters it out. So that's just basically it. You can see also here the delete is when you click on the button delete. So basically that's just the walkthrough of this application. It's a very simple application. So I'm going to be implementing Zustand, showing you how you can implement Zustand. So first of all, I'm going to let's create a I think I already have I'm gonna so as to provide this boilerplate code, let's push this to Git. I'm gonna create a new uh, Git repository. By coming here, let's just initialize repository. Uh, thus and next initialize. Not easy to to do app implemented. Then let's publish this to a public repository. So we already have that. Now let's start working. So the first thing you want to do is install Zustand. So you can see that here in this uh doc for Zustand doc. You can use npm. If you're using yarn also, you can use yarn add Zustand. But for this tutorial, we'll continue with npm. So basically, this is our application we've installed Zustand. So the first thing you do is to create your store. You can create it in the app folder, but most times I like okay, let's go on. Let's create it in the app folder, in the source folder. Sorry, I prefer creating it either in the source or in the root folder. Let's go continue with the root folder instead. No, let's do it inside the source folder. So I'm gonna say to do my store or something. Stores. Oops, 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 oops. Stores. What's going on? Okay, so we have our stores folder ready, and the next thing we want to do is to initialize the to do store. And how do we do that? We create a folder. You create a folder called the name of the store. So we're going to create a to-do store. To-do store.ts. So after that, then we can import Zustand, import create from Zustand to create the store. Create from Zustand, not domain. Zustand. Now that we have that, we need to create the interface for our to do. Interface to do is equals to, yeah, I think, yeah, this is what we need. And then also we need to create interface for the store or the state. So we need something like this to add it to do. Yes. Okay. So then we can now create our store. So we create with seconds to use to do store is equals to create, and we invoke it and create the setter. So here is where we now define the to do. You can see the suggestion here. It's just exactly what I needed. We create the to do as an array, and then our functions will then go in here also as part of the store. So see the add to do here, and then you have the toggle to do and the delete to do. So this is the add to do is a function. So what we do is just we receive the text as a payload or as a parameter, and then we create the new to do by initializing the id as state.now, set completed as false, and then set the state here by passing first set and passing state to it. So there we can now update to do by destructuring states and then adding our new to do. Toggle, the same thing here is what we just do is we'll map through the state to do. When we get the to do, we toggle the completed mode, and the delete also we filter here the to do out, filter the ID, the to do with the ID out. So basically this is it, but we need to export it. So we export default the store, and this is just it. That's just it basically. So our store is ready. There's no need of creating actions, creating setters, getters, all those things, that you do in Redux. There's no need for that. This is all you need for using Zustand. So back to our application, we will need to change one or two things in our application. Here, instead of using this to do this state, internal React state to manage the to do, we're going to import this the store we just created, and we're going to replace it with the React state here, and then pass it to the other component. So what we want to do, I'm going to comment this out. So we're going to have a couple of errors first, but let's just continue what we're doing. Const with the structure to do, not from use state, and not set to do with the structure to do, add to do, add to do, also toggle. Okay, what I'm gonna do is let's just import it so that it will be easy for us to do structure. So we're gonna import it from use to do store. Yeah, yeah, that's just it. So now we can now destructure by control. When you press on the control space bar, it shows you, the functions that are, you know, available in the store. So we have the add to do. We also have the delete to do. And we have the toggle, toggle to do. Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna remove all this. We don't need this again. So that's just basically it. Uh, the to do, we pass them to our component here, to the to do form here. We're passing add to do, passing to do to the to do list here. Also the toggle and the delete. So this should work very fine. So let's test out our application. So I'm gonna say hello world, hello world, travel the world, travel the world, travel the world. So let's say party, party and study, study. So we can see here it's working pretty fine. Our to do, we can add it to do. Can we delete? Yes, we can delete. Can we toggle? Yes. So our app is working pretty fine. But then there's one thing, if we refresh our state, we lose our state. Oh no. So how do we do that? You know. But the cool thing about this is that there is a way we can handle that internally. Zustand provides us with a persist state, a persist function that we can wrap around our state to persist, even on the refresh and reload, all that. So we persist the to do's by using the Zustand middleware to persist it in local storage. So it's actually storing it in local storage. So you might not want to use that for sensitive information. For non-sensitive information, you can just leave it. But if you are storing sensitive information like password and token, I'll advise you use a cookie. So you might need to implement your own separate implementation for that, or use one of the cookie packages to store the token and all that. If you want me to do a tutorial on that, you can drop that in the comments. Maybe I'll do another tutorial where we'll do a full authentication system, authorization and authentication with Zustand. And showing you how you can save the persist with both local storage and cookie. And if we want to go add also, we can also implement index.db. But let's just continue with our implementation here. So what we need to do is to import persist here. Import persist exactly from Zustand middleware, and we need to wrap it around this set function. So we need to wrap everything around it. Can you imagine? So I'm just gonna grab that. Cut it out. Oh, made a mistake there. Should be I'm just gonna put this on another. Good. Then cut it out here. So then we then call persist. Okay, but before then we need to execute it. Okay, yes, let's just continue. Persist. I will give it a open brackets, close bracket, and then we'll paste our store into this. We're getting errors here for some reason. We'll get into that later. We'll fix the error, but we need to name this persist state so that Zustand can track it. So you open a JSON bracket here, and you name it. Give it a name. So we'll just say to do storage. So to fix the error, we need to execute this create first before passing persist. So we just execute here. You can see that fixes the error, but then we have a okay, this is not supposed to be here. Am I correct? Yeah, this is not supposed to be here. We're gonna take this out of here, and we're gonna put it right after this store. So we're gonna put it here. No, not here. Sorry, cut it out. Putting it immediately after the bracket here. So remember, since it's JSON data, good. What is happening? Why do I have so many? Let me see. What's the problem? I think something is off somewhere. Let me see. Where does this end? This ends here. Then the bracket. Then the state. Yeah, it's supposed to be. Yeah, should be here. Yeah. Okay. So that should be immediately after function. Okay, the callback function. Immediately after the callback function is where you put the name of the store of the persist, the name for it to track it in the local storage. So after doing this, I'm just going to format my code. Good. And save that here. So we can test our state now. Let's refresh this. I'm gonna delete this and add. So hello world. Then travel the world. Travel the world. You guys remember that song by client project. So we have 3 to dos. Let's load this and see if it is persisting. Yeah, you can see we have our to do persisted. So let's check the local storage and see if we can track it down. Let's track it down. Local storage. Let's look for to do storage. Yeah, it is. You can see this is the state. You have the version here. Let me try deleting something. Reloading this. So it's the version is still 0. I'm guessing this would update when you update this state or the implementation or something. So let's add another to do. party. Let's refresh to make sure it's still being persisted. Let's check the state here. To do's. Cook. Cook. You can see it's updating. For every update is updating the local storage. So that has brought us to the end of today's tutorial. So I guess by now you should be able to go out there, build something. You know, don't just watch this tutorial, build something with Zustand. And hopefully, you know, you will master it. It's very simple. If you've worked with Redux, this will just be like a piece of cake to you. Like a piece of cake. This is like kindergarten storage. uh State management. You know, it makes it so much fun and easy instead of writing a lot of code to just handle the state. And imagine we've done this in like 5 minutes. We've set up the state and everything is working well, and we can even persist it. In Redux, I think you need to install a separate package to persist it, or you implement a custom persist middleware or something. Yeah, so that has brought us to the end of today's tutorial. If you learned something from this tutorial, kindly like and follow, subscribe to this channel for more tutorials like this. See you next time. Bye.